What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Jeandre Gerber, and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Artistry. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in, no matter whether you're driving on your car or you're cleaning your house, or you're just chilling back, listening to this voice blabber on somewhere in the middle of cyberspace. Thank you for tuning in. I also would like to say thanks to everybody else that tuned into the first episode. It's quite inspirational to see the feedback that I got from that first episode. I didn't expect that so many people were going to just jump on board. But then as I went throughout the week, I started realizing that there might be a reason, and I'll touch base on that a little bit later. But for those of you who did tune in, for those of you guys who did, sit through the entire podcast last time, thanks. And don't worry, right now the format's still very limited, the distribution channels, but I am getting it on different platforms. So soon, in the near future, you'll be able to get it anywhere. But right now, I think, and that this also ties into our topic of today, which is get started. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Starting with your art now. Starting with your artistry now. Whether that's playing music, or whether that's writing or dancing or sculpting, or even traveling. Artistry doesn't necessarily have to be art related. It could be life related. Everybody's got a passion. Everybody's got something that they want to do. The trick is, how do you make that lucrative? How do you make that sustainable? And how do you stop doing the things that you don't like? And that's actually something that I would like to talk about. This is it walks in directly with the reason why I think there's so many people actually interested in this podcast, and that is a recent statistic that I saw somewhere. I don't know whether it's true or not. You guys can verify, but I think it is somewhat true. Maybe it's a little bit inflated, but not as much. The statistic pretty much goes, and it says that 2/3 of the people actively participating in the workforce are dissatisfied with what they're doing, and 1/5 of the people actively hate what they're doing. And what does this tell us? It tells us that the vast majority of the people, productive citizens, your neighbors, your friends, 66%, at least 60% of them, are not happy with what they're doing. They're in a job that's not bringing them the level of satisfaction that their paychecks should give them, because it's just not them. It's not something that they really care about. Somebody in a call center could give two shits about what they're really doing. Nobody's like, I was born to answer phones and hear angry people yell at me all day. The question is why? Why are you subjecting yourself to a state where you're doing things that you don't like to do? And the answer is quite simple: necessity. I know. Don't get me wrong. I know why you keep on working. I've done it. I've been in the same situation, doing things because I've got bills. Because I got to put food on the table. Because I've got responsibilities. Because I got mortgages, and I've got to pay my car and the gasoline and all these different things. It's constantly just, nagging you, forces you to abandon something that you would truly want to do, to find the security in the monetary gains by doing something that you don't want to do. But at what cost? Okay, let's say that you're able to pay your entire rent, and you're living, and you got some extra cash, you go on a vacation maybe 2 weeks out of the entire year. That's the time that you have some pleasure, some reward for your dissatisfaction. But at what cost? You got to ask yourself, what so you've got the stability, you've got this economic stability, but are you happy? Are you able to enjoy the things that you produce? Sure, there's a little bit of enjoyment with the things, going out and just partying or buying you that one thing that you've always wanted. But all of that happiness has got a very short lifespan, because this world, our current the rate of stimulus is so fast that, you got the new iPhone, and then 3 months later there's a better, bigger version, and now suddenly your purchase no longer can provide you the elongated happiness that you so thought could happen. So here we are sitting in this little mouse wheel, running in circles, trying to keep ourselves afloat. We're working out of necessity, and we're also chasing a false sense of happiness, and it's not entirely our fault. We are being conditioned to think that material goods is the answer to our existential problems. These physical, mundane things are the things that's going to keep us happy, and it never will. I'm sorry to burst your bubble if you thought that is true, but that car or that, big ass diamond or the clothes or, everything like that, it's not going to give you the returns in happiness, the returns in what actually matters, what feeds your soul. It's not going to give it to you. And the big question is, how can you ever attain happiness if you don't like what you do? How can you ever enjoy the things if you actually dislike what you do? And more importantly, why do we keep on doing it? What is the thing that we're going to do if we know that, okay, you know what, I'm not going to be happy. I know I have to do some of this. I know there's certain responsibilities, whether I like it or not, I have to do. I have to pay my rent. I have to have food. I have to have these things. Okay, these are necessities. But beyond that, what's the point? And if you are making enough to cover your basics, why are you spending your extra time sustaining or chasing this fantasy dream where you think that these things will fill that hole inside of your body? My question is, if money wasn't a problem, if you didn't have to worry about the bills or, putting food on the table and all those things, what's the one thing that you would do every day that would make you happy? I mean, think about that for just a second. If there's one thing that you can do, irrespective of money, of status, of anything, if there's one thing that you could do all day, and then, what would that be? Would it be painting? Would it be singing? Would it be dancing? Would it be sculpting? Would it be making arts and crafts? Would it be traveling? Would it be starting up a business? That's what artistry is about. It's about finding your passion and executing it and being that, to find this crossroads where your desire and your talents and all of those things combine into one singular moment. And that is artistry. You being you, the flower being the flower, not trying to be the bear. You know what I'm saying? So if money wasn't a problem, what would you do every day? Think about it. I'm pretty sure immediately a thought popped into your head. Immediately you're like, oh, I'd love to do that. I'd love to just do this. I'd love to go play music all day. I'd love to do that. Okay. Now we've got an identification. We've got an idea, a point of partition that we know that there's something that would make you happy, but you're not doing it. So why aren't you doing it? Well, we know you've got necessities, the hustle, the grind. The system is set up in such a way that you've got to keep on pushing. Now, it's not smart to just abandon those because, like I said, you have to sustain a living. But if you don't start working towards your goals, if you don't start working towards your idealized world, if you don't start walking towards what would truly make you happy, you'll never attain it. And you'll never truly enjoy the fruits of your labor unless you do the things that you truly love to do. I mean, 60% of the people are dissatisfied, and about 20% of the people friggin' hate what they do. Think about that. 2 out of every 10 people in any given profession hate what they do. That's terrible, people. That is terrible. So, apart from the economic problem, what's the biggest factor that stands between you and your dreams? And the only real answer there is you. There's nothing else. You're making the excuses. You're the one that's putting in the doubts. You're the one that's not acting. Nobody else can live your life except you. Nobody else can go and achieve your goals or achieve your dreams. You are the factor that stands in your way. And what are these stories that we tell ourselves to not get started? Well, maybe I'm not good enough, or I don't have the resources, or I don't have the talent, or I don't have the contacts, I don't have all of these things. You're looking at all these limitations. What if people don't like what I do? What if people judge me? What if they call me things? All of these things, all of these voices that you're telling yourself, these stories, these narratives that you keep on repeating, that's impeding you from actually just taking one step. And the thing is, sometimes we equate the current standard of living, chasing money, chasing material things, and we try to fuse it with our passion. And that's probably the worst thing that you can do, because then you're hoarding out your passion. You shouldn't be doing what you love to do for money. You should do it because you love to do it. And you should do it good. And you should focus your time and perfect it and just, manifest it to its full potential. Because the moment that you start doing things for money, I'm not doing this podcast for money, and I don't play music for money. I used to. I did it for 10 years. I chased gigs and I did all these things, and I went on tours and I traveled to different places. But that also didn't make me satisfied with what I was doing. I love music. I'm a singer-songwriter, I'm a writer. I like to do these things, but the moment that I focus on doing these things for money, the return in happiness diminishes, because now suddenly there's a monetary goal, there's a value that I'm trying to achieve, and it's not about just being the best at what I can do. Manifesting, hitting those sonic waves, and then changing the reality inside of another person's mind, even if it's just one person in the crowd that says, oh my God, that song spoke to me. That's what actually makes me happy. That's like, I'm giving value. I'm helping shape another person's reality, and that is what made me happy. So the moment that you start adding monetary values and goals to your art is the moment that you hoard it out and then you cheapen it. And now you're fused this idea of materialism with passion, and it's not achieving its goal. You're diminishing your returns in happiness. So it's important to start doing the things that you love to do and the things that will give you happiness, not because of what you can get back, but because of what you can put in, because you love what you're doing. The labor itself is the satisfaction. The labor itself, or the achievement of your goal, the painting or the finishing that chapter, that's what's giving you happiness, and that's fueling you to keep on going. And what happens when you disassociate the materialistic objectives of life with your passion projects, you do it with a greater sense of pride, you do it with a greater sense of enjoyment, and that translates into the work, which then inspires and reaches out to people and vibrates with their way of thinking or their sense of happiness, etc., etc. And strangely enough, then you get more returns. Eventually, that interest starts turning into these material rewards that you get without actually, pursuing it. It's just a side effect of doing things that you love. So what can you do today to get you closer? Like, what is the one thing that today you can start doing and get you one step closer to actually doing what you'd love to do? I'm not saying go and abandon your life. Don't go walk into the office today and be like, fuck you, boss. I'm gonna kick your ass and I'm gonna do my things because, Jeandre told me to. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you gotta be wise, But there's so much time in the day, and you might think that there's not a lot of time, but there is. And we have these little crutches to help us deal with the misery of existence, of doing something, of a purposeless life, So some of us game, other people, watch TV, they binge watch TV, or they do things like that. And you got to look at how much time you're wasting in all of these other things, whatever your escapism is, whatever your mechanism of dealing with the grind is, look at it and see if that's providing you the return in happiness that you need. And obviously the answer is no. Yeah, it's giving you some instant gratification, it's giving you some pleasure, but it's not making you happier, and it's not bringing you one step closer to that point. So one of the things I think that stands in your way, or what can bring you closer, is cutting out these distractors. In my case, my personal case, gaming, man. I've been gaming since I was a kid, and it's always taken up some of my time. And instead of doing that, now I'm doing podcasts, I'm writing books, I'm doing things like that in that time. Obviously, you can't do it all the time, and you do need some escapism. But, I'd rather go for a walk. I'll take my dog for a walk or do something like that than spend an hour or so, masturbating myself virtually, or, stuck on social media looking at what other people are doing, or reading articles or getting into political debates on freaking Facebook. Like, none of that stuff's helping you. It doesn't matter, None of those things matter. So, cut out the distractors and stop making excuses, Start doing it. It's not a lack of resources. I don't have everything. My studio isn't complete, but I've got some stuff. So I'm going to start using that. I've got a guitar. And on your journey, on your road, you'll start picking up more resources. You'll start meeting more people that can help you get to that point. But you have to stop making excuses. You can't always just blame your circumstances. The only factor that is standing between you and your goal is you. So start doing. What can you do today, right now, after you've listened to this podcast? What can you do today when you have some free time to bring you one step closer to achieving your goals? That's it. Do that today. If you do that, you're closer than you were yesterday. You're closer than you were this morning. Take that one step. What will make you happy? What's the first thing you can do to get there? It's that simple. And once you start doing it, you need to be consistent, because the road is paved with many steps. It's not just one step and you're done. It's the first step. Then you got to do the next step. And you got to be consistently doing this and create yourself a schedule. Like, if you want to build up a new life, it takes it by building up one brick at a time. So take your goal, see what it's going to take to get there, and every day or every time that you have some free time, just do a little bit more of that. But it's also important to be accountable. So if you want to have somebody to kind of hold you accountable, you can join the Road to Artistry Facebook group, where there's a bunch of other artists and we can help each other out, If you don't have anybody physically in your own life to help you with that, if you do have somebody physical, like a partner, parents, brothers, siblings, even peers, friends, tell them what you want to do. Tell them, hey, you know what? I really want to start doing this, and can you just keep me accountable? Can you, when I'm slacking off, be like, hey, are you doing this? Set up a schedule. I've established a couple of people to tell me, hey, man, have you done this week? And that accountability helps me stay on focus. So the trick really is find accountability, be consistent, and just start doing. Work towards something tangible and enjoy the labor and the results. And what do I mean by something tangible? I mean, set yourself a goal. If you're going to be writing a book, by when are you going to finish the first chapter? Or do you have the name of the book? Did you create a plot outline? Create yourself a framework of success and make small, tangible steps that you can actually measure your progress. Because the further you go on your road and the further that you see that you've moved away from your point of partition, the more it inspires you to keep on going. So ultimately, do the work. Be consistent, find accountability, and just do. Just do it, man. There's nothing stopping you. If you want to be happy, if you want to live a life of happiness, start today. Don't wait for it. If you want to go travel, well, start traveling. Make miniature movements and identify places and create objectives and budgets and all these things that you need to do, and then just start freaking doing it. Nobody else can live your life. Nobody else can make your dreams come true. Only you. So stop making excuses. We've all been there. Sometimes it's difficult. So what? People might not like what you do. So what? People might criticize you. So what? As long as you're happy, as long as you're getting the satisfaction, as long as you're getting the purpose out of life, none of the other stuff matters. And if you do things because you love it, the monetary gains, all these other things around it will eventually start coming. Just focus on being the artist that you've always known you are. And it's that simple. And it's not that simple. Because we also know that along the road, there are many hardships, there are many turns, but at the end, if you love what you're doing, it's all worth it. If you don't love what you're doing, it's just going to weigh you down. It's going to be more difficult. And if you're hoping that, well, by the time I retire, I'll start doing that, well, you just wasted the best years of your life to get started. So why not rather start now as a side hustle? You don't even have to have this as your primary thing right now. But cut out the distractors, fill that time with tangible things that you can do to move you closer towards your desired state of artistry, and do it. And then what we'll do and what I'll do for you guys over the next thing is I'll start helping you with strategies. In the near future, I'm going to start talking about the branding and how to set up your artist profiles and how to approach social media and use all these tools that we're currently using as distractors. You got YouTube and people are watching videos about cats. You got Facebook and people are arguing politics. Why? You're not doing anything. You're not making happy. You're just making yourself miserable. So what I'll do is I'll start helping you guys with these tools. I'll provide you some resources, things to help you achieve your goals. And as mentioned, join my Facebook group. You'll see that there's support there and people, you can post their things. I'm not one of those assholes. It's like you can't post and whatever. Man, if you've got a blog, or if you've got a painting, if you've got a video, share it. It's the feedback. It's a community where people support each other. So that's it. I think that's where we'll keep it for today. We've been running for over 20 minutes now. So I just want to thank you guys if you've been here for this entire time. Come sit down, have a good time. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being on the road to artistry with me. Let's work together. Let's achieve our goals. And on a final note, for if you guys do want to get in touch with me, you can always do it through the website. You can check me out on Facebook. I'm at Jeandre Gerber Trip. Instagram, Jeandre Gerber. Twitter, Jeandre Gerber. SoundCloud, Jeandre Gerber Trip. There's a bunch of places you can find me. Just follow, drop a comment below if you like this episode, and I'll see you guys next time with a new topic. I promise that it will be about helping you take these first steps. So thanks once again. This has been Jeandre Gerber. I had a blast. I always have a blast doing these things because I love it, and it provides me with that satisfaction to keep on going. So thanks again. You guys have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day or your night or whatever time you're listening to this. I will see you guys on the next one. And last time I said this was a song of my outro. It wasn't my song. I apologize for that. But this time around, I will put one of my own songs. So enjoy this song by me. And I'll see you guys next time. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. What do you guys want changed? So forth. And let's just keep on walking, people. Your life starts today if you want it to. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Peace out.
Bobby the Brave. He lived his whole damn life depraved. He never wanted to step in line all he wants a peace of mind. Said all his days he was ridiculed, and for his ideas he was played the fool. Now he lies in a bloody pool, but they thought they'd shut him up. But on and on, ideas are strong, and before too long we'll right these wrongs. The old grows weary while the young grow strong. Just today was like yesterday, in your children's minds our games to play. And tomorrow they'll be digging your grave. Tomorrow they'll be digging your grave. Tomorrow they'll be digging your grave.
In this pursuit of truth we call life, many claim to have figured it out. But be wary of those still seeking, and fear those who claim they have found it. Cause in the end, we're all guessing, and we just don't know shit.
This is a ballad of Johnny the Sane. Lived his whole damn life the same. Never wanted to step out of line. All he wants a piece of the pie. And all his days he was loyal to official decrees, yes he followed the rules. Now he's still just an old damn fool, cause he never even got his cut. But on and on, ideas are strong, and before too long we'll right these wrongs. The old grows weary while the young grow strong. Just today was like yesterday, in your children's minds our games to play. And tomorrow they'll be digging your grave. Tomorrow they'll be digging your grave. Tomorrow they'll be digging your grave.